Imagine this, a single ribbon of steel, stretching thousands of kilometers, connecting two mighty oceans right through the very heart of a continent. Well, this isn't science fiction. This is a real-life race that's happening right now. A race to build a railway that could literally define the future of South America.
So that begs the question, right? How do you connect a continent? Is it about just drawing the straightest, fastest line from one coast to the other? Or is it about something more? Maybe about weaving together the economic and social fabric that's already there. This is the fundamental choice at the heart of this entire project.
And right now on the table are two colossal, competing answers to that question. We're talking two distinct megaprojects, each with its own powerful backers, its own route, and a completely different vision for what a transcontinental connection should even be.
Now, this idea, it's not new. For centuries, leaders have dreamed of what they call a bioceanic corridor, and the logic has always been pretty straightforward. Slash shipping times, unlock all that potential in the continent's interior, and create this powerful new artery for trade with the rest of the world, especially with Asia.
Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Let's meet the contenders. As we said, there are two massive projects on the table, and believe me, their approaches could not be more different.
So here are the two big ideas. First, you've got the Ilhéus-Chancay route. Think of it as the direct shot, a brand spanking new 4,500-kilometer railway, backed mainly by China and Brazil. Then you have the Santos-Chancay route. This one is playing a totally different game. It's all about connecting the dots, using existing railways, and positioning Bolivia as a central hub.
First things first, we've got to talk about the technical challenge. Because building either one of these is, well, it's not as simple as just laying down track. We're talking about crossing some of the most difficult and sensitive terrain on the entire planet.
The Ilhéus route is, and I am not exaggerating, a monumental undertaking. You have to build over 4,500 kilometers of new track, from scratch. This line would have to slice through the dense Amazon rainforest, cross the massive Brazilian savanna, and then somehow climb and tunnel its way through the mighty Andes Mountains. The engineering complexity and the costs are just off the charts.
The Santos route, on the other hand, is playing smarter, not harder. It's not about starting from zero. It's designed to use what's already there. About 60% of the railway for this route already exists. The main challenge is just bridging that final 40% gap, connecting the existing lines with a new section of track through Bolivia.
All right, we've talked engineering. Now, let's follow the money. Because when you compare the price tags on these two projects, the difference is absolutely staggering. So that big direct Ilhéus route, the estimated cost is over $10 billion. And that massive investment, a lot of it coming from Chinese financing, brings up its own set of questions about things like long-term debt and dependency.
And just look at this comparison. The Santos route, because it uses so much existing track, is estimated to cost just a fraction of that, somewhere between $2 and $4 billion. But a project's value isn't just about its price tag. We also have to look at this idea, economic connectivity. It's a key term here. See, a railway's true value isn't just about linking two ports on a map. It's about how well it plugs into the places that actually make stuff. You know, the farms, the mines, the factories.
And this table is where that idea of connectivity really comes to life. The Ilhéus route, it primarily connects Brazilian export zones to the Pacific. It's a straight shot. But the Santos route, it's more like a web. It connects the industrial powerhouse of São Paulo, the agricultural heartland of Mato Grosso, major productive zones in Bolivia like Santa Cruz, and the Andean region of Peru. It links so much more.
And of course, a project of this scale isn't just about steel and money. The choice between these routes has profound, long-lasting consequences for the natural world and for the people who call these places home.
And honestly, the difference in risk here is like night and day. The Ilhéus route would have to carve through some of the most biodiverse parts of the Amazon, potentially disrupting vulnerable indigenous communities. The risk of irreversible damage and social conflict is huge. The Santos route, by contrast, mostly runs through areas that are already developed, with less ecological sensitivity and often using land that's already designated for this kind of thing.
The footprint is just dramatically small.
So when you put it all together, the engineering, the money, the environmental impact, you start to realize this isn't just a choice between two railway lines. It is a choice between two fundamentally different visions for the entire continent's future.
The author of our source material, Dr. Carlos Ibañez Meier, captures this idea perfectly. He says, the true essence of a bio-oceanic corridor is not simply to unite two geographical points, but to create a transversal logistics hub that energizes the economies of multiple countries and inland regions. That really nails it, doesn't it?
So, what we're left with are two very different futures. The Ilhéus vision is essentially a point-to-point express lane, an export pipeline for specific goods from one country. The Santos vision, on the other hand, is framed as a multilateral logistics platform, a foundation for regional integration and shared growth for everybody along the line.
And that brings us right back to where we started, but with so much more at stake. Should a corridor be a simple line, an efficient pipe for moving goods from A to B? Or should it be a complex network, designed to lift up everyone in between? The choice South America makes won't just be poured in concrete and steel. It's going to be a declaration of what progress truly means for an entire continent in the 21st century.